Hello and welcome to the West Asia Post. I am Ghadi Francis coming to you from Beirut, Lebanon. And this is another episode of WION's weekly show, the West Asia Post, that brings you everything new from the world's most volatile region. Israel has a new plan for people in Gaza. A life where there's no future, no freedom, no state, just surveillance. On the other hand, military mishaps in Israel. The facts revealed that during the war with Iran, some Israeli missiles were not intercepted, but they were fooled. They turned and they fired themselves. This happened using Iranian technology. On the other hand, one of the biggest humanitarian crises is unfolding on the Iranian borders, where they are expelling Afghans by thousands. We will talk about all that, but first, let's take a quick look at the headlines. Iran surprised the world during the 12-day war with Israel. It's a masterclass in electronic warfare. In the middle of the air, Israeli missiles bombed themselves. We tell you more.
Missiles streaked through the night sky. Drones swarmed overhead. Sirens wailed from Tel Aviv to the Negev as Israel's vaunted air defenses sprang into action. Interceptors racing to meet the incoming Iranian barrage. But this time something was different. As the Iron Dome, David Sling and Arrow systems locked onto their targets, chaos erupted with Israel's own shield. Iranian missiles, guided by a new and mysterious tactic, sent Israeli interceptors veering off course. Some even colliding with each other or targeting their own batteries. For 12 days, destruction reigned. Iranian ballistic missiles rained down on Israeli cities and military sites. Tel Aviv, Haifa and Beersheba bore the brunt. Satellite data later revealed that at least 5 Israeli military bases, including a major air base and intelligence center, were struck directly by Iranian missiles. According to reports, Iran's Revolutionary Guard claims it used a new missile guidance system that confused Israel's multi-layered defense network. By manipulating flight patterns and signal transmissions, they reportedly tricked Israeli interceptors into targeting one another, creating gaps for real warheads to slip through. Military analysts believe this marks a new era in electronic warfare, where the shield can be turned into a sword. The war ended with a US-brokered ceasefire on the 24th of June, but the consequences are still unfolding. Both sides suffered heavy losses, hundreds were killed, thousands wounded, and critical infrastructure battered.
We took a strong hit, but our spirit is strong. Actually, that was the biggest hit, the biggest disaster that the city ever had in nearly 100 years. In one day, we lost 9 of our people, 200 was injured, and more than 2,000, more than 1% of our population are now homeless. They are living at hotels, but we are not looking at yesterday, we're looking at the tomorrow.
Israel's aura of invincibility has been shaken, and Iran has been hit but has proven it can adapt and innovate under fire. The world's militaries are now racing to understand and counter this new playbook.
A new vision by Israel is making headlines across the world, and it's taking global scrutiny. Israeli cuts say that a new humanitarian city will rise on the ruins of Rafah, a city where people over 2 million Gazans will be surveyed, will have no freedom and no state. We tell you more.
Gaza, once home to over 2 million people, today stands shattered. Entire neighborhoods flattened, lives uprooted. A cityscape turned to dust. Its people are in constant motion, fleeing strike after strike, carrying whatever they can salvage. This is the moment an Israeli bomb tore through Gaza's old city market. No warning, no protection, only wreckage. The Israeli assault has only grown more aggressive, and now comes a controversial new plan: to corral Gaza's civilians into an open-air prison which would be a single sealed zone. A zone Israel calls a humanitarian city. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz says the city will be established in southern Gaza's Rafah, on the ruins of areas already emptied by war. It's meant to house some 600,000 displaced Palestinians, many of whom are currently sheltering in Al-Mawasi town, after being forced out of other parts of Gaza. But this isn't just a temporary shelter. Israel envisions the entire civilian population of Gaza, over 2 million people being moved into this zone permanently, while Israeli government maintains security from a distance. Israel says the zone would be managed by international organizations, not the IDF, but even that remains uncertain. Haaretz reports that Netanyahu hasn't ruled out Israel running the zone in the short term, and when asked about conditions inside, he reportedly said, "Give them Ben and Jerry's for all I care." Palestinians inside the zone would not be allowed to leave, and Defense Minister Katz openly called for their voluntary emigration to other countries. The plan has drawn comparisons to a vision floated by US President Donald Trump. He once proposed relocating Gaza's population abroad, allowing US forces to take control of the territory and transform it into what he called the Riviera of West Asia. Critics say the new move amounts to forced displacement and compared it to a concentration camp.
For 20 months of this war, of displacement, genocide, starvation and killing, we've experienced every form of death. We reject this plan. We reject being forced from our land. We have the right to move freely and travel to other countries, but to be uprooted and expelled from our land, these are schemes we, as Palestinians, completely reject.
The announcement came as Netanyahu landed in the US to meet Trump amid efforts to broker a ceasefire deal in Gaza. But their meeting ended without a breakthrough in ceasefire talks. Hamas had given a positive response to the truce plan, but raised objections demanding a permanent end to the war. Israel has rejected those terms, insisting that Hamas must be eliminated entirely, both as a military threat and as a governing entity.
We are alive and well, so thank God for that. At least we humbled America. That alone means something. May God damn them, those who caused this war.
Defense Minister Katz says Israel will retain control of the strategic Morag corridor and work to establish what he calls the humanitarian zone south of it during any ceasefire window. The IDF, he added, now controls nearly 70% of the Strip's territory. With talks still fragile and hostages still held, the future of Gaza and its people remains balanced on a knife's edge.
Israel fought an abrupt 12-day war with its topmost enemy, Iran. But will this be its final war outside its borders? Houthis in Yemen aren't getting peaceful anytime soon, and it looks like the confrontation is inevitable. We tell you more.
All of you, don't worry. I confirm Hurry, abandon the ship. How do you copy? Over.
National Security Advisor counterparts.
Houthis continue to target Israel. Alarm sirens across Israeli cities. Vessels in the Red Sea under threat. Houthis have begun what's being called the most lethal phase of their assault on Israel. Once a regional insurgency tucked away in the mountains of northern Yemen, the Houthis have emerged to become the next big threat, not just to Israel, but also its allies traversing through the $1 trillion cargo route. Shortly after Israel's war with Iran, Houthis struck Israel's Beersheba. The attack was symbolic. This was the same region near Tel Aviv, which was devastated by Iranian strikes recently. US aircraft carrier Harry S. Truman had sighted and aimed to decimate Houthi capabilities via Operation Rider. Trump vowed any attack on US vessels in the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea route won't be tolerated. Houthis responded with resolute resolve, claiming it shot down MQ-9 Reaper drones and downed American fighter jets. American fighter jets and missiles pounded hundreds of targets. And Trump declared victory over Houthis in May. But here is the catch. US's then National Security Advisor Mike Waltz signaled that Houthis possessed sophisticated air defenses, anti-shipping cruise missiles, drones, sea-skimming types of attack drones and other ballistic missiles. Iranian Revolutionary Guards have halted their fire against Israel, but they might just be opening a new military depot in Yemen. Reports indicate Iran is moving the manufacturing and development of missiles and drones to Houthi-controlled areas, particularly in Sada, Hajar and capital Sana'a. Yemen's information minister has clearly pointed out that Iran and Houthis, known as the extension of axis of resistance, are joined by the hip in its warfare venture. The rebel group based in Yemen has now wrapped the Arab nation in West Asia's volatility, one where its Hodeidah shipping port and capital can fall prey to potential strikes by Israel and its allies. The likelihood of Israel's next war might not be with its neighboring countries, Lebanon or Syria. It could begin from the mountains of Yemen, carried out on the wings of Iranian drones and intercepted over Israeli strikes.
Iran is driving out tens of thousands of Afghans, some without any charge, no papers. Some of them were born and raised in Iran, and now they're going to a country they barely know. In the following report, we give you more details about the humanitarian crisis unfolding at the Iranian borders.
Missiles lit up the skies, sirens pierced the night. And for a moment, West Asia stood on the edge of a full-scale war. Israel and Iran were in direct combat for the first time in decades. When the fire died down, both sides claimed victory. But the war, though over, has left deep scars in the streets, the shelters, and the borders of Iran. In the aftermath of the escalation, Iran has turned its attention inward, unleashing a sweeping crackdown on Afghan migrants across the country. Iran says it's acting to preserve national security, claiming that undocumented foreign nationals pose risks during sensitive times and has even called them spies for Israel. Migrants with valid visas say they were still taken, pulled off the streets, shoved into detention, extorted for bribes, and then dumped at the border with nothing.
I've been living in Iran for about 27 or 28 years. I was born there. But the situation for Afghans is such that no matter how good you are or even if you have valid documents, they still don't treat you with respect.
Since March, around 800,000 Afghans have been pushed out, nearly 600,000 since just June. A tidal wave of people, hungry, battered and broken, crossing into Afghanistan at rates of 30,000 a day. These people aren't strangers to Iran. Many have never even been to Afghanistan. They grew up speaking Farsi. Their lives, schools, homes, friends were in the Islamic Republic. Now, they're exiles in a country they hardly know.
I don't know. I've been in Iran for 5 years now, and I'm not fully aware of the situation in Afghanistan. If I can find a job here that covers our daily expenses, I'll stay and won't go anywhere. But if that's not possible, we'll be forced to go to Iran again, or Pakistan, or some other country out of necessity.
Afghanistan, staggering under its own crisis, has already taken in over 3.5 million returnees since last September. From Iran, from Pakistan, from a world that's turning its back on them. Nearly half the country lives in poverty, millions go hungry, and as the crisis grows, aid agencies are running on empty.
Today, we've received close to 30,000 individuals returning from Iran into Afghanistan. This number is beyond our capacity. This number is beyond our preparedness planning.
The UNHCR's $216 million appeal for 2025 is barely 25% funded. And US support, once the lifeblood of refugee relief, has been slashed under the Trump administration. These migrants aren't just crossing a border. They're crossing into uncertainty, loss, and a future no one is ready for. There are no suitcases, only plastic bags. No farewells, just orders to leave. No way back, and for now, no way forward.
Longtime enemies, Israel and Syria, are now talking about peace. There's only one problem, one area, the Golan Heights. We tell you more.
After more than a decade of civil war and devastation, Syria has a new president, Ahmad al-Shara, and he's trying to turn a new page, even if it means talking to a historic enemy, Israel. Reports say that the two countries have held secret talks. With help from the United Arab Emirates and the US, this could be a step towards normalization. In May, Donald Trump met Syria's new president in Saudi Arabia and urged him to join the peace deals with Israel. But any deal will face a huge obstacle, the Golan Heights. The Golan Heights, a strategic area Syria lost to Israel in 1967. Israel has occupied it ever since. Last year, after Bashar al-Assad fled the country, Israel voted to expand its control in Syria, building new settlements, taking more land, and pushing out Syrian families. Israel has claimed the continued threat from Iran, Syria, and their Lebanese ally Hezbollah has meant maintaining control of the Golan is vital for security. Today, over 31,000 Israeli settlers live in the Golan, despite international law calling the occupation illegal. Now President al-Shara wants a fresh start, but his government is demanding that Israel withdraw from the new areas it took last year. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the old 1974 ceasefire agreement is no longer valid. Instead, Israel wants a new security deal, including tough conditions like no Iranian or Hezbollah presence in Syria, no Turkish bases, and a demilitarized border near Israel.
We will not allow forces from HTS or the new Syrian army to enter areas south of Damascus. We demand the complete demilitarization of southern Syria, including in the Quneitra, Dara and Suwaida provinces, from the new regime forces.
According to reports, the talks are being led by Israel's Security Council and US envoy Tom Barrack, and they're already in advanced stages. But many Syrians are unhappy. They fear a deal could give up Golan permanently. Others say they're too tired to fight, and peace, even without full normalization, might be the only way forward.
The Golan is Arab and Syrian, and it will remain Arab and Syrian. These negotiations may take years if they happen at all, but when it comes to Golan, is it even conceivable that it could be anything other than Arab and Syrian?
Meanwhile, in southern Syria, Israel has threatened to intervene, claiming to protect Syria's Druze minority during local tensions. But many see that as a strategy to divide communities and weaken the new government. So what comes next? Syria says it's open to peace, but wants an end to attacks and occupation. Israel says it wants security and recognition. But without Golan on the table, can there really be peace? And for many Syrians, as long as the Golan Heights remains under occupation, the wounds of war will never fully heal.
A golden visa for life to the UAE was offered to Indians. Backed by a campaign and advertisement, it was really ludicrous. But was it real? The UAE said this whole thing was never real. We tell you more.
Dubai, a land of dreams, where life is a luxury. The city with the tallest skyscraper in the world, the Burj Khalifa. Millions dream of settling down in the city of opportunities. It started with what looked like a breakthrough. A Dubai-based firm, Riyadh Group, announced that the UAE was launching a new nomination-based golden visa scheme. According to them, this visa didn't require millions in investment or ownership of real estate, and the price tag was 100,000 United Arab Emirates dirham, around 23 lakh rupees. Riyadh claimed the program was being piloted exclusively in India and Bangladesh. They said applications could be filed from home, no need to visit the UAE. And approval would be handled through their portal or partner offices. Thousands lined up. It spread fast in WhatsApp groups, local social media posts, and expat circles. Estimates claimed that over 5,000 Indians were expected to apply within just 3 months. The timing couldn't have been more perfect, at a time when professionals seek opportunities abroad. But soon the hype met a harsh reality. In a rare and direct statement, the UAE Federal Authority for Identity, Citizenship, Customs and Port Security, or ICP, called the claims false and misleading. The authority made 3 things clear. There is no such thing as a lifetime golden visa. No outside consultancy, including Riyadh Group, is authorized to process applications. All golden visa applications must be submitted only through government channels. The statement also urged the public to rely only on official sources, like the ICP website or helpline for any visa-related information. According to a report by Khaleej Times, the Riyadh Group has taken full responsibility for the purported nomination-based resident initiative. To be clear, the UAE does offer a golden visa. It's a long-term residency program that's been active since 2019. But it's highly selective and awarded to investors, entrepreneurs, outstanding students, scientists, doctors, engineers, and creatives, all based on merit and documented contribution. And while the UAE has expanded eligibility in recent years, the process is governed by strict laws, not consultancy claims. So where does that leave us? The UAE's golden visa is real, but it isn't lifetime, and it definitely isn't on sale. The only way to secure it is through merit, transparency, and official channels.
That's all we have for you on this episode of the West Asia Post. I will see you next week with a brand new lineup, always bringing you the most recent updates, news, and ground reports from West Asia. I am your host, Ghadi Francis, signing off from the middle of Beirut, Lebanon. For more global news, keep on watching WION The World is One.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
This Business Master show is a show where actually a lot of professionals can actually see how others are doing it. And there are various professions and there are various professionals. There's an awesome lot to be learned, there's an awesome lot to be heard, and it's a lovely show to be on.
WION Health Resort is unique, the only one of its kind. Experience the 4 paths of natural wellness: yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy. Each uniquely customized program improves the whole person to make every person whole. Come to WION Health Resort. Make your reservation at yowon.com.
WION, India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch. WION, India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
Vielleicht nur als